Jamie, it's podcast 47.
I'm bringing space back. These other podcasts don't know how to act. We're back.
After a month.
The Interplanetary Podcast. The exploration of space for the benefit of all mankind. Your hosts here in London, Matthew Russell and Jamie Franklin.
It's been a long month. I can almost hear people crying in... Is it joy or pain that we're back?
Do you know what? I've actually really missed the podcast myself.
I've missed the podcast.
Actually, I'm not sure about this monthly thing.
Does it feel like you've got a hole in your heart?
I've got FOMO. Big time.
I like it. So how have you been, old chap?
I've been very well, thank you very much. Although I've got a chesty cough, bit of a chesty cough.
What's the cure?
If I was a cosmonaut, I'd be called chesty cough.
Good.
Thanks.
I like that. So, Matt, I'll tell you one thing we should definitely start with.
Go on, then, hit me.
The SpaceX spacesuit.
Do you know what? I agree.
Now, I know that we talk a bit about Elon. Drink. But this is it not the coolest thing ever? Because this isn't a film or Daft Punk. We'll come on to that later. This is real life.
It is real life. Elon Musk... the ridiculous thing is he put it on Instagram and it really does look like Elon Musk in the spacesuit, right?
But apparently not.
But there it is, a picture of him in a spacesuit. Let's say it's him. And he's saying it's not a mock-up. It actually works. It's been tested to double vacuum pressure, whatever that means.
Well, yeah, between 0.2 and 0.35 atmospheres. You know this, Matt. I've told you this before.
Well, I think that's what American and Russian spacesuits operate. That's the pressure that they operate at. Just so people don't get confused why this looks so cool. It isn't the type of spacesuit that you can go out on a spacewalk on. It's only used for flying up in the Dragon capsule. It's just
for when you're hanging in the Dragon.
Exactly. If you are flying in the Boeing Starliner, you've got to go in the Boeing suits, the blue ones.
Yeah.
And if you're going in the Soyuz, you've got to go in the Russian suits. There's no choice. You just got to wear what you get given for the particular spacecraft.
Wear what you get given. But I tell you what, everyone's going to want to get this one. It looks so smart. And Matt, let's talk about who designed it.
Well, yeah. Well, Musk he told his designers and engineers that he wanted the suits to be badass. Whatever that means. No. So
he's such a rock and roll dad.
Yeah, exactly. I mean...
Hey, guys.
I want this to be badass.
I'm not sure what either of our accents were.
We should have gone for, guys, I want it to be really badass. That's...
You know, the badass suits. Make it look like this.
So anyway, he got Jose Fernandez, who is famous for designing suits for superhero movies for a long time now, and he actually designed my favourite ever thing, which is Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman suit. I don't know if you remember that, Jamie. You might.
You dirty old man.
No, but I was really young back then, very impressionable.
Dirty young man.
But Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman suit was definitely genius.
Really?
But he also designed the helmets for Daft Punk.
Amazing.
And, of course, there's definitely a Daft Punk helmet look.
It really is.
About this particular spacesuit, isn't there?
I wonder if they're going to get jealous. Maybe they'll rock a couple of spacesuits in their next DJ set.
Well, I was thinking this. I mean, surely you can actually spin off a line of clothing, like this whole idea of having, say, motorcycle jackets and helmets that look like the SpaceX spacesuits. It's like...
That would be cool.
I mean, that would
make me get a bike.
Yeah, I actually was thinking that this morning. I would actually buy a motorbike so I could wear the SpaceX leathers.
Are we not selling Interplanetary Podcast motorbikes already? Or is that yet to come?
I think we're still working on that.
Well, stick me down for one, I tell you what.
So hopefully these will be ready for their inaugural launch when they're taking people up to the International Space Station in early 2019.
And by then, Matt, you know that maybe white and black is going to be out of season.
Yeah, that's true.
And they'll have to go with, taupe or tan or whatever's in look that autumn.
Well, the one thing that people were saying is that it looked a bit more professional. and less.
Really?
Yeah, so it was just looked a bit more like you were the sort of man about town or man about space, a businessman, a businessman on my way to the ISS to do a bit of business. Yeah. It didn't have the saggy butts, but of course I reckon it will have a saggy butt because they've still got to wear nappies for the launch.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless they've done something amazing, because this suit you only see from the waist up, so you don't really see what the heck's going on.
The saggy butt's quite fashionable, isn't it? In
I suppose so.
Teenage jean wear.
If you wore your spacesuit like a roadman, as my kids call them,
Let's hope there's no cracks in space, though, because that sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
So, Matt, I'm really excited about the Astronaut of the Month. I mean, for many reasons, he's a legend. Many, many reasons. And we've both read his book when it came out.
It's by coincidence. There's two reasons. One is because tomorrow, as you know, Jamie, I'm going to be interviewing Jackie Bell, or Dr. Jackie Bell, who I've been talking to on Twitter, and then suddenly she's on a TV programme about how to be an astronaut. And it's a brilliant programme. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But the astronaut helping the BBC to do this astronaut, it's essentially The Apprentice set in space, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
The Alan Sugar of the programme is none other than our astronaut of the month, Chris Hadfield.
Oh, Mr. Hadfield.
And the second reason...
Absolute.
Yeah, it's his birthday tomorrow.
Is it?
Of all coincidences. So when I'm interviewing Jackie, it will be Chris Hadfield's birthday.
57 years young. Happy birthday, sir.
So let's listen to that interview, and then we'll talk about Chris Hadfield afterwards.
Check it out. Here's the doctor.
I'm back in the British Interplanetary Society Library, and I'm joined by Jackie Bell, a doctor of theoretical particle physics, but also a budding astronaut. Space cadet.
Yeah, so very recently I took part in a 6-series programme with the BBC called Astronaut, Do You Have What It Takes? And this was with Chris Hadfield, Dr. Ia Whiteley and Dr. Kevin Fong. They're presenting it. And yeah, it's been a bit of a journey.
So you know whose birthday it is today, don't you?
Yeah, Chris's.
Yeah.
So yeah, I put a picture on Instagram of me and Chris together, the one sneaky picture that I got. And I tagged him in it. I thought, oh, maybe he'll comment, but I'm guessing he's been too busy.
Too busy eating cake. Has he gone back home? Or is he still...
I'm not sure where he is at the minute, because I know he was working on another show. He's loitering about somewhere.
Yeah, no, we talked about him on the show. We did a little profile of Chris Hadfield, and it's just
nice.
like, what? He's
flown,
amazing. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Absolutely amazing.
70 different aircraft he's flown.
Oh, my words. God, I wish I could just fly one.
Yeah. So, do you actually want to be an astronaut? Is that actually one of your burning ambitions?
Yeah, no, I really do. I think who doesn't like space? I've always liked space since I was a kid. I really wanted to be an astronaut, which my mum and dad were quite confused at. They're not academics, my parents or anyone really in my family. So for me to be really interested in science and want books for Christmas instead of toys and games, it was a bit strange. But yeah, I've always wanted to be an astronaut. I think I said it in school that I wanted to be one, and everyone just laughed and was like, who from the UK becomes an astronaut? Like, don't be silly, get a real job. Which was a bit harsh to tell a kid, but I guess it made me work hard and go down different avenues. But ultimately, it's always been at the back of my mind to be an astronaut.
Yeah, do you know, I was thinking about this on the train, because in my mind I was going to be an astronaut after being a pop star first. That was,
yeah,
that was so I was going to do that, then astronaut. But I was thinking, what a brilliant aim it is to be an astronaut, because it's like you can't fail, because you have to be amazing, therefore...
Yeah, so you've got a decent backup plan anyway, because you're going to be like really academic or, in the RAF, or have some sort of amazing career already.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the plan.
You're likely to have, a master's degree at least, and physically fit. So yeah, it's almost like everyone should train to be an astronaut, sure.
Yeah, that's like a life goal. Do that, you can't fail.
Do you actually think this? Do you think this program actually goes some way to realising that dream?
Yeah,
do you think it actually will?
Yeah, for sure. So, just taking part in some of the tests, they are like actual tests that astronauts will do. So in episode 1, for example, the numbers from that terrifying German voice that was shouting out random numbers and we had to repeat them in order backwards. That was like an actual test that Kevin Fong did when he applied. So that's kind of cool, but it puts a bit more pressure on you on the programme when you think, oh my word, this is what an actual astronaut is going to do. Or like you just get quite nervous.
Did Kevin Fong have to do the step at the same time?
I don't think he did, no. I think he was just having a casual sit down. But he did say his was like up to 20 numbers at a time and you didn't know when it was going to stop. What? So at least with ours, it kind of went up in progression. So 5, 6, 7 numbers.
Yeah, but I mean, 20 numbers, you'd surely have to do preparation for weeks before you could get up to that standard, surely.
Definitely. So since filming that episode, a couple of us have been looking into ways that we can prepare if we were to apply at ESA. So we've been trying to find this famous German person and their video, their tape of the numbers that we can practice with. But I guess you must have to. I guess it's just like training your memory. You must have to put a little bit of work into it.
There's a book out called Peak, and a scientist took one of his students just at random and said, right, I'm going to teach you how to get the world record at remembering numbers. And he did. He got up to the world record quite easily.
Wow! I wish you would have taught me.
200 numbers, but apparently it was just that he had to come up with his own mental pictures and it's all about mental framework.
Yeah, so the way I did it was remember the numbers. So if it was like 2, 5, 6, I'd go 2, 5, 6, 2, 5, 6, 2, 5, 6, 5, 2, and then kind of take my time going back. I think the right way round, I can remember 15 numbers. Whoa. 15, 16 numbers.
Well, that's really impressive.
But backwards is a little bit more, a bit more work. I'd never trained for that before.
No, see, backwards, that was... Well, actually, that's a point. So how long before you went off to do this show did you know that you were doing the show, and how long did you have to prepare for it?
So we applied back in December, and then it was a few months of... 2 months of like different interviews, medical assessments, fitness tests, all of those things. And at each stage I was like, this is amazing, but it's going to end here for me. Like, I'm so lucky to get this far. This is amazing. And so I'd go off to the BBC, and just that for me was like a great day out, because I was like, oh wow, you can see the news being filmed. And I was really excited and was like, well, you know, worst case scenario, I went to the BBC for a day, had a free lunch. It was a nice little day out. And so even though I was I'd only just moved to London as well. So I didn't have enough money to join the gym or anything like that. So my fitness wasn't great either, so I would go for a run at midnight every day. I know, it was crazy. I'd go for a run every day, and that was like the most I was trying to do. And I was working at the Science Museum at the time, so I'd run up and down the stairs as fast as I could from the the coffee room to wherever I was going to be next based. I'd like run up 3 flights of stairs and time myself, and that was kind of my training.
Oh yeah, stair running, that's a killer.
So that's kind of all I was doing, because in the back of my mind I thought, I'm not going to get it. I don't want to put loads into it and be really disappointed when I don't get through. And then we all got the phone call 2.5, 3 weeks before, and so that was when I started to panic a little bit and push myself a little bit more on the runs. And
so the 2 or 3 weeks before, you didn't think that you maybe start putting your head underwater?
Oh no! I was so naive with the swimming, because I just didn't even think about how astronauts train for EVAs, and I knew at the back of my mind, I'm going to have to be able to swim. But then I was thinking, but diving is very different to swimming. I'm in a suit, it'll be fine. I don't have to worry about breathing underwater. It's all sorted for me. I just need to float. And so I was very naive about that. So I was frantically trying to teach myself to swim. And in that, maybe 2 weeks before the programme, I mastered my doggy paddle. That was about it. And I definitely didn't put my head under the water. So that was a bit of a shock in episode 2.
But yeah, I mean, that I have to say, that was incredible. The fact that you were obviously terrified in the first dip, but actually you really controlled your fear for the second time round.
So what you didn't see, we all had heart rate monitors on. And so I was really trying to be composed, to try and look composed, but my heart was just giving it away. Like, there was no hiding how terrified I was. And I got asked before it, like, how do you think this is going to go? Because, you know, obviously the BBC, they knew about the fact that I couldn't really swim. I wasn't a strong swimmer at all. And I had no idea. And I said, like, I genuinely can't even risk assess this situation because I've never put my head under the water before. And the one time I did, I almost drowned. And so I was like, never again. You know, swimming lessons at school, I would always hand in a note and say, not for me, thanks, I'll do extra maths lessons, which is why I'm so good at maths. But, you know, it didn't really work out for me now because I'm not such a good swimmer.
Every cloud has a silver lining. That's almost like that's almost how all adversity should be, isn't it? You got the maths lessons out of it.
Yeah, you sacrifice one thing, you gain another.
So when your school that you went to, was that just like a normal school in Liverpool somewhere?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm obviously not from London. Grew up in Liverpool, lived in Liverpool for 28 years. I only recently moved away from home. Yeah, just a normal school.
Normal school, and then
didn't enforce swimming lessons.
Yeah, needed my school. That's gone. It's gone off the curriculum. But and then you went to university and to do more maths.
Yeah. So again, at school, I think by now the astronaut dream had kind of faded. I'm quite a realist, and I realised it's going to be virtually impossible for me to become an astronaut. There was only Helen Sharman, who I didn't know of at the time when I was a child, when I wanted to be an astronaut. People told me there's no astronauts from the UK, they're all American, they're all working at NASA. And so I kind of was like, oh yeah, fair enough. And it just stayed like, I just pushed it to the back of my mind really, and I thought, well, what can I be? I still want to inspire people and I want to help other people live their dreams. So I wanted to be a teacher, and I was naturally good at maths, plus I'd had extra lessons. So I went to university to study maths, University of Liverpool.
And then what did you do?
And then I stayed on. I kind of wanted to get back into science. I was getting really keen on my BBC Science programmes, BBC Horizon. Yeah. Brian Cox was doing really well. He was on TV everywhere, and I wanted to be the next Brian Cox. So I wanted to get back into physics. So I stayed on at Liverpool, did a master's in mathematical sciences, where I did my summer dissertation on quantum chromodynamics. Right. And then I stayed on and did the PhD in quantum chromodynamics, which is theoretical particle physics. And then, graduated last year.
And you did all of this in Liverpool? What?
Yeah, I stayed in Liverpool. So the reason I kind of fell into the PhD actually. I applied like you do. I applied for a lot of jobs, a lot of graduate schemes, and it's very tough. And so I wasn't really getting anywhere with that, which is really ironic. The fact that Chris Hadfield saw potential in my CV, but none of these recruiters did. I'm just thinking, what am I doing wrong? So that was a nice little confidence boost.
Maybe the recruiters never had to hand in a CV for recruitment. This is the problem.
Maybe. So I kind of just fell into it, and then I enjoyed the research. But while I was there, I did a lot of public engagement and worked with some schools and communities not engaged in science. Which is what I was really passionate about.
Yeah, I saw that in your resume about that you were involved with people from deprived areas and getting them involved in science. So can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because that is really noteworthy.
Really, really passionate about that. So obviously where I grew up, not many people get into science. It's not really a cool thing to do. I think science was seen as like, a rich white man's subject type of thing. And so I was a youth worker for 10, 11 years since I was 16. And I wanted to like integrate the youth work with the science and put on a little bit of a project, getting communities involved. So I ran that for around 6 months in 2015-16, where, we did loads of science clubs with families, and I even had an elderly knitting group that I went to meet every week, and we made a particle physics blanket with all different Feynman diagrams on it. It was really cool. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you can do science anywhere. That was the message.
Oh, wow. I might have to get my missus to knit me a Feynman blanket.
It was really cool. I still have it now.
I think that might be the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was really cool. And they were really up for it as well. They were like, teach us about particle physics. Like a bunch of little old ladies just knitting away. It was great. It's a great little project.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. So are you still involved with any of those projects?
Sadly, no, not back in Liverpool. So I had to finish because I needed to write up my thesis, which anyone who's done a PhD will know is the best time. And so I was really under a lot of time constraints to get that finished, otherwise I wouldn't have graduated. So I had to put the public engagement on hold. I was still doing youth work.
So how old were you when you got your PhD, by the way?
It was last year, 26, 27.
Well, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. So when I used to go to conferences in Germany, they thought I was quite young, but I guess they do like a 2-year master's. They stay on uni a bit longer. But I don't know if it's that young. A lot of the other candidates in the show, they'd all finished their PhD at a similar age.
Yes, but they're astronaut. They're all astronaut candidates. So that's the thing I think you're forgetting. It's like, it's the real world. Apparently it's totally normal to have a PhD when you're 27. No, it's not. It's
I worked really hard, and I was a little bit lost at the time. I did want to be a teacher, and then I got into informal education, and I really enjoyed that a lot more, working with young people who'd kind of, slipped under the radar and missed out. Maybe, they haven't got supportive backgrounds, and they were being bullied, or they've been socially excluded in some way. And so I really enjoyed working with them a lot more, which kind of put me off mainstream school. Yeah. So I didn't follow that dream of teaching, although I did do a stint at a school in Bootle for 3 months, again teaching young people who were struggling with maths and science, which I really loved. But
do you know what? Yeah, it's really odd, the amount of people that come up to me and say, I'm rubbish at maths, and you go, oh no, you're not rubbish at maths, you just the moment someone says maths, you can just see their little black shutter come down.
It's true. So in my current position at the British Science Association, one of my roles is to kind of get more communities involved in science, and a lot of the time it is you just say the word science or maths and they're like, nope, not for me. But if you hide it and you say, okay, well, you've got a football match on, these have got this many points, where do they end up in the league, then kids will engage straight away without realising that they're doing maths. And so that I'm kind of sneaky with the maths and science. I just sneak it in where I can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always amazed when you play fantasy football or something like that, and everyone seems to be really good at it. I'm thinking, hang on a second, you said you were rubbish at maths. It's clearly you can't possibly be. You completely understand statistics, and you understand.
People understand more than they realise. And I always say, if you think you're bad at maths, like, it's not you, it's your teacher. So you just haven't been taught properly.
Yeah. And I am a big believer in that, in the no talent. It's just, look, you just
completely.
Just get down to this and build up your confidence. In it.
I say this to everyone. Like, they always say to me, "Oh, you're so lucky. You're really talented. You're just gifted." And I say, you just work hard. If you want something, work really hard to get it. I've worked really hard, and I think a lot of people just assume that I'm naturally talented, and that, I've got it easy, when they don't see behind the scenes me staying up late and working my ass off, really, because I want it so bad, and I want to be good at things and learn things, and I'm really, I've always been an inquisitive kid and always wanted to know more, and the way you learn more is by learning and reading. And
it's almost like a spiral, isn't it? Because the fact that you love learning means that you learn, and because you learn, you love learning even more. And, and it is that. It's your real talent, I suppose, is the fact that you love learning.
Yeah, true.
Rather than having a talent for maths or having a talent for...
I think it is all about that, how much you want it, really, and that self-discipline. I think it's really easy to just go home after work and switch off and watch the soaps and, just chill out. But if you actually go home and say, okay, well, I'm going to study this language, or I'm going to study this, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to better myself in this way, then there's no reason why everyone can't be, an Olympic athlete or, speak 7 languages. There's no reason why. That's what I believe anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. And it's actually really refreshing, because you can see, for someone like yourself, it'd be quite easy to think to yourself, well, maybe I am talented. And in some way, that's like a sort of flattering thing that you're special. But it's quite good. But also, the real thing that you're proud of is the fact that you've worked hard for it. Yeah. And I think that's really, that's what makes you, maybe that's what makes you kind of astronaut class style person. Yeah.
Maybe.
What do you think that you've learnt most about yourself in that process of the competition?
Of astronaut training. I think the best thing about taking part in the programme was seeing where my flaws are. Because it's so easy, like we were saying before, it's so easy for people to say, oh, you're so great at this, you're so great, you know everything, it's amazing. And then actually you miss your own flaws. So for those to be picked up, and for Ia and Kevin and Chris to say, this is where you could improve, that's great for me. I really like that, because it gives me something to work on, it gives me something to do. And so I think that's probably what I've learned. I've also learned not to be so harsh on myself. I've always been bad at this. I've always been bad at really putting a lot of pressure on myself. But I know that to be an astronaut, you need to be mentally stable and not get too emotionally involved in things. And so that's something that I'm definitely working on at the minute.
Yeah. So, but that's almost a really great thing to hear, isn't it? That whole ability to self-evaluate and then say, well, these are the things that aren't so great, and that's what I'm going to work on.
Yeah, and I honestly, I find that the most interesting thing as well, because if you're a high achiever, you could get into that mindset of, well, I'm just good at everything, I don't need to try, which I've never been like, but people can do that. And so for someone to say to me, actually, Jackie, this is what you're not good at, this is where your flaws are, sometimes it might not be what you want to hear, but then it gives you something to improve on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a great tennis player is not going to get good if his coach never points out that, that his backhand is lousy. With the other contestants, do you all feel like rivals, or are you too soft with one another? I think I know the answer to this.
So we hadn't met until the first day of filming. So they'd kept us separate through all of the tests pre-filming. They didn't want us to know who the other people were who were going for it. And so I really didn't know what to expect, because I was just like, well, I know to be an astronaut you need to be a pilot. Most of them have, been in the Air Force, and so I was like, well, I don't have that. It's a bit secretive now, but I can't swim still, and I haven't really told the whole crew. But I know you need them things. And so when we met on camera for the first time in the hangar. And we were all chatting about what people do. And, there's a surgeon, there's a dentist who's also climbed Everest twice. She's in her 50s, Hannah, she's absolutely amazing. You've got 2 pilots on the team. We've got another quantum physicist who kind of, trumps me a little bit because she's a real physicist. And so I'm just kind of standing there thinking, these people are amazing. What have I got to contribute here? I will go after day one for sure. This is the most amazingly talented group of people I've ever been with. And what was really nice, and I think this is why we were all chosen, is everyone was so supportive, and everyone wanted to share the knowledge. It wasn't like if anyone had the upper hand, they would keep it to themselves. Everyone wanted to help everyone. And we all knew it was going to be a process where people were going to get voted off or leave in some way. And yet we still wanted to help, and we'd still kind of sacrifice our own position on whatever, you know, Chris and Ian and Kevin's league table was, because we never got feedback, so we never knew how well we'd done on any of the tests until we're watching it now back on TV. Honestly,
oh right,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So we never got any feedback, so we didn't know who was better than who, you know, how we were on this table in the ranking.
Unless you get called into the corridor.
Well, yeah, unless you get called into the corridor, which is traumatic.
Yeah, because it was quite a close call between you and Hannah, wasn't it?
Definitely after the dunker. Yeah, definitely. And I felt quite guilty about that because Hannah has a genuine fear of enclosed spaces from the avalanche that she was trapped in, which must have been terrifying. And so I knew it was between me and Hannah. We didn't know if we were both just going to get a telling off, or if we were going to both go, or what was going to happen.
Were you able to discuss it before going?
Not really. It was just on the walk there. We were like, oh, what's going to happen? And she's hugging me. She's like, you've got this. Don't you worry. She's honestly, she was like our mum. She was so supportive. And she's such a strong lady as well. All the things she's been through, she's an inspiration. And I said to her when she left the programme, I was like, if I grow up and, you know, I'm just a fraction of what you are, I'd be really proud.
No. Did she start crying?
It was just
because I would have done.
Unfortunately, it was just me who seemed to be crying on the show.
No, Hannah did quite a bit of crying. It was pouring out.
Aww,
poor thing. But she must have been a bit worried, because she must have seen like the inside of a Soyuz, for example, and seen that that's quite enclosed, spacey.
Yeah.
Kind of
so
vibe.
the claustrophobia thing. I think though, again, a bit like myself, she would push herself anyway. She put herself in that situation and just hope that she could do it and cope. And I guess this is probably one of the few times, or one of the first times, that she's put herself back in that situation of enclosed spaces, and so she wasn't really sure. And with the pressure of the cameras and being assessed at the same time.
But I mean, she did extraordinarily well in the pods, didn't she?
Keep her heart rate down.
And I think you could definitely see that Chris Hadfield was pretty impressed by that. The fact that she was able to. With
the pods as well, I feel like this needs clearing up, because I've had so many people say to me,
"Why did you get out so early?"
Yeah, exactly. Why did you get out? Like, I didn't know you had claustrophobia. No, okay. The swimming thing is an issue, but the claustrophobia, I could have sat in that pod all day. That's not an issue. So while we were inside, we all got given instructions of what to do. So we didn't know we were going to be in there for 20 minutes. We didn't know what we were going to do. Before we got into the pod, we got told to take our boots off and take our laces out of the boots. So we're standing there, boots in one hand, laces in the other, thinking, okay, there's like a plastic egg-shaped pod and we've got no boots on, we've got laces. They were kind of all equal distance from each other. It's going to be a team thing. We're going to have to do something as a team. So we get into the pod. Then we get a little instructions poked through, which says, we were told they were all different. So we got told everyone had different instructions. Again, Whoa. So it's all to kind of mess with your mind. Yeah. So we get these instructions. This is a few seconds before the lights go off. And it says, stay in your pod for 20 minutes. Do your boots, do your laces. And it says everyone has a different piece of paper. So automatically I thought, we've all got the same. We have to, because how would they moderate this test? Yeah. You know? So I was like, okay, we've all got 20 minutes. What I'll do is I'll count best I can, because I'm quite good at keeping time. And then when I think I'm at 20 minutes, I'll start hearing other people getting out. Once I hear 2 people get out, I'll get out, because then I'll be middle of the pack. So I won't fail and I won't win.
Whoa,
this was I was thinking, okay, you know, obviously if I get there too early, if no one's out, I won't get out. So you're probably thinking, but you got out first, so what happened? So I'll tell you what happened. So as well as it being pitch black, you're doing your boots, you can't, you know, you've got kind of no sense of time except for the seconds that you're counting. And you're trying to keep your heart rate down as well, because we've got these heart rate monitors on all the time. so there's a lot of noise outside the pod, which sounds like people getting out. So I heard this 3 times. And so obviously that goes against the rule. It was, hear 2 people get out. I heard it 3 times and I was like, I'm only on 18 minutes. I'm sure I'm only on 18 minutes.
Oh, so you actually knew you were on 18 minutes?
I knew. So that's what was so frustrating, because I didn't know until I watched episode 1, because we didn't get told. So I watched it and I was like, no way was I on 18 minutes. No way. And so I came out, and that's why I kind of look around sneakily thinking, oh no one's out. So obviously they were doing something to make noise, or someone was making noise, which kind of messed with me, and I thought, I'm on 18 minutes, but 3 people have got out. If I don't get out now and I get last, I might go home. So I came out, and it was just, it was so frustrating.
So how did you learn to keep time? Because I've read that. That's in Richard Feynman's biography, isn't it? That he learns to count time, doesn't he?
So I used to do this. I just used to do this as like a game. I don't know, probably like playing hide and seek, and I would try and do exact seconds. But what I give the most credit to is all the awful jobs I've had in the past, where I've literally counted down the minutes till I go home, and I'm like, right, okay, 5 more minutes and I can go, 5 more minutes I can go. And so but
that normally makes it worse. You must be out of your
I
mind.
just don't know. I think because I made it into a game, and I thought, how exactly can I get?
Oh, okay.
And so I would always, like every day, I'd be like, right, let's see how close I can get to exactly 5 minutes.
Oh, so in actual fact, you're epic at that task.
I
didn't.
I didn't have faith in myself. Again,
faith in yourself.
That's another thing that I've learned, that in self-reflection, is I've got a bit more self-worth and a bit more faith in myself, because I'm the type of person where I would be saying something like, yeah, pigs definitely can't fly, and then 2 people will go, no, they can, I've seen them, and then someone else will go, yeah, definitely, and I'll go, oh, maybe they can, maybe I'm wrong. And so I'm that type of person where I can be quite, even though I know deep down I'm right, I'm scared to be wrong. So I'm kind of like, oh, okay then, and I try and think, well, maybe I must be wrong, and so I don't have much confidence in myself, that I always think they're definitely right, I must be wrong. And so that's something that I've tried not to do as much, because I definitely did that throughout the programme, again, with me thinking people are getting out the pod, and me thinking, I must be wrong, my counting must be wrong, even though I knew I was doing it right. I thought maybe I lost count when I was doing the laces, maybe I did this. And so that was quite frustrating to find out when everyone else saw it live on TV, and then get lots of messages saying,
can't you count 20 minutes?
Yeah, it's so easy to count 20 minutes.
Oh man, that's really quite annoying, isn't it?
But I guess it's one of them things.
But I have to say, I think you were a little bit lucky with the rover task.
Okay, so this rover task, I absolutely loved doing this, because Tim Peake actually did this, where he controlled it from space, and it was awesome. Except he had like 90 minutes to do it, so we had 20. We had more targets.
Vis-a-vis.
So we had to kind of work out before we went in there. We got literally 2 minutes or something to work out what we were going to do, and we were told roughly where the targets were going to be on this little map. And so I, with being a mathematician, worked out exactly how much time I needed which I should have been a bit more lenient and said, okay, let's divide 18 minutes up rather than the full 20.
So you genuinely had got it down, literally down to those few seconds.
And it wasn't until I was almost at the line, I thought, Jackie, your calculations better be right. They better be right this time, because this is close. So I had 2 strategies. First one, drive in, reverse out, which James did.
Yeah, which was the epic
which was
one,
fantastic.
Yeah.
So that was my first strategy. So I drove in. I could see the targets. I thought, this is perfect. Put it in reverse. Nothing happens. I was like, okay, give it a second or so. 30 seconds. I'm thinking, it's not gonna happen. I need to change strategy. And before that test, while we were sitting at the computer about to start, Chris had said to us to simulate what would happen on Mars. Sometimes things might not be communicated. You might get a delay. There'll be a bit of a lag. And so as soon as I knew after so many seconds it wouldn't go into reverse, I kept stopping, reversing, leaving it for a few seconds, lag. Nothing was happening. I was like, okay, change strategy because this is a test.
Wow, that's really, because they didn't put any of that into the program. Which seems ridiculously.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. There's a lot of things that they didn't put in, which is really informative. Actually, it's really cool. They gave us, the whole background of Tim doing that experiment and how that the rover Bridget is going to be similar to the 2020 ExoMars mission. And so that was really cool, and that would be cool to put on the episode. But then I guess it would have to be 2-3 hours long if they put everything in.
But it seems pretty. I'm amazed that they didn't sort of say that you were going to reverse out and the reason why
I think maybe I definitely. So they were watching us the whole time, so they will have definitely seen me try to put it in reverse and then sit back and wait, and then be like, okay. And I'm pretty sure I vocally was like, okay, plan B, and then did it. But yeah, I guess again it's only an hour long, so they cut.
But that's really impressive. So at that point you realised that you had to do that. You did a U-turn.
Yeah, but I mean it was a great trajectory, and I had people from Airbus say to me after, they were like, "Oh, you're the girl who did that perfect turn." I was like, "Thanks," even though it was like touch and go. But that 30 seconds that I wasted on the reverse, I was like, okay. Because I knew mathematically I needed 12 minutes to turn around. I needed to turn around by 12 minutes to get out. And so when I tried reversing at 11 minutes, I was like, this is not going to happen. I kind of waited as long as I could. And then it was getting to 12 minutes. I thought, I need to turn around and get out. I need to turn around. And yeah, it was like 5, 4, 3, 2, cross the line. I was like, oh.
Do you know what? I have been thinking all the time that people like Chris would have come in and sort of talked to you about it and given you all the feedback. But I can't believe they don't give you any feedback.
So that was the only test that we did where I knew I'd done okay. That was the only one, and I thought, I smashed this. Yeah,
which you did. I mean, you did absolutely smash that. Now tell me, Aya, is it Whiteley?
Yeah, Aya Whiteley. Yeah,
Aya Whiteley. Sorry, yeah, Aya Whiteley. I find her a little bit terrifying. She's like she genuinely looks impossible. She looks like she's out of a Bond movie. And she's going to be the sort of one that interrogates Bond. There's no messing.
No, yeah, honestly, she has such a powerful presence. I'm in complete admiration for Ia. She's not only like an amazing academic, she's kind of got like a similar background to most of us candidates, where her family wasn't very academic, and she kind of went against the grain, and she's done amazingly well. But as a psychologist, she is very terrifying, because when you're talking to someone and they're just looking back at you sternly with a bit of a smile going on, and they're analysing everything you're saying or doing.
That micro movements thing is actually really the micro expressions is scaring me. I mean, what? Because they never went into it, did she? She never goes into what that is.
No, exactly. And I think that.
And presumably now I know that you don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I still don't know what she was looking for. I mean, I guess she must obviously be able to tell honesty and people who were genuine. And we got asked things like, would you go on a one-way trip to Mars? What about your family?
Or would you go on a one-way trip to Mars?
So I said, yeah, like definitely I would be honoured to be chosen to go to Mars, which I immediately thought, was that the right thing to say? I have no idea.
It's obviously not about the answers, was it? That's the thing.
That's the thing. Like, I think because we got asked as well, like what we would do if we had like £1 million, and I I've always said if I had a lot of money, I would build a community centre, and it would have a respite for kids to stay if they have any trouble. And I've always been very community minded, and obviously I've always, everyone always thinks, what would I do with £1 million? We all have that answer ready.
Sweet. I'd spend it on sweets, by the way, just so.
So I just automatically answered very quickly. And then again, I was thinking, is that too fast? And then, while you're thinking this,
but the thing
she's
is,
still watching you.
So you're
like, oh,
so she's gone, yes, she means that. Oh, now she's thinking this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why she terrifies me.
Yeah.
I actually got a feeling I might actually wake up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it was really, because even off camera, the very brief moments that we got to chat with the presenters, you would be very conscious still of what you were saying, because you would think, am I still under test conditions? Is this still a test? When is it not a test?
Did you only find out that when you brought your family in,
I
that
found
was a test?
on TV on Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, so wow.
So I was like, oh no, what did I do? What did I say? Because the cameras are there, so you very much...
Who was your guest?
My mum. Uh-huh. Yeah, so I brought my mum, which was really funny because she was just so insistent on telling me a story about the train ticket. And I was like, Mum, this can wait, please. I was like, this can wait. Like, this is very important. There's Chris Hadfield, there's Ia Whiteley, there's Kevin Fong. And she's like, which one's which? And I'm like, oh God, Mum.
Oh, no. No.
So she said some classics, let's just say. So I just had to kind of put on a smile because the cameras were there. I think I got away with it.
Yeah, well, your name didn't come up on that one, did it? Yeah,
no, I know. So I was actually watching Sunday's show with Merit, and so we didn't know what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was really unfair actually on Merit because her family's in America, and she said on the previous episode that she'd lost her mum. And so his sister, she's very close to his sister. They're the bestest of friends. And so his sister flew over from America to be on the programme for an hour. And we literally saw them for an hour, and then they were carted away and we were carted away. And so I really do sympathise with Merit because she did just want to spend time with his sister, and she was tired, but she was also feeling sad that I'm only going to see her for a little bit and then she's going to be gone.
Yeah, because they even showed a clip of her and her sister looking sad. And her sister sort of going...
Exactly, and I think that was... It's really good editing. Yeah. So I just really felt for Mary because we'd all seen family 2 weeks earlier or a couple of weeks earlier or whatever, but she hadn't seen her sister for months, and she was only going to... It was like, here's the treat, now it's taken away from you. Like, she got to see her under camera conditions and then she was gone. And so, I think it was a bit unfair that the camera chose those moments where she was feeling a bit sad to pick them out, really, because she wasn't like that at all when we were all talking. They were both really enthusiastic, and I know Skylar, Merit's sister, was talking to Chris about all of the jets that he's flown because she works on them in the States. So they had a great conversation. But again, we kind of knew everything was a test, which we'd learnt, the day before when Chris had said to us, you can come for a jog with me in the morning if you want to. It's not a test. And we all looked at each other and were like, we'll be there 6 a.m.
Well, even if you didn't think it was a test, going jogging with Chris Hadfield,
it was amazing,
right?
So there's no way I was going to pass that up and just, have a lie-in.
Yeah. As Jamie says, anyone who sings David Bowie in space.
Oh, yeah.
That's
so, again, with the Mars rover, there were songs on, playing through the...
of course, yeah.
The ear defenders, because James was singing away and he must have looked a bit mad. And that was one of the songs that came on, and it was just great. It just kept making me smile. Obviously, they didn't show those bits with me smiling. I realised it's only intense or crying. But so they had all those songs on, which was really cool as well. To have Chris standing behind you and then the songs on, and then you doing a task Tim Peake's done. It was just amazing.
Yeah, that is literally the dream. It is the dream ticket, isn't it? I'm I'm actually now really jealous. Damn, if I was only 20 years younger. So, oh no, actually I could have done it, couldn't I? Because there was people older than me.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was really lucky because I just saw the advert on Twitter. Again, like all my opportunities come from Twitter. I'm just like on it all the time, and so I just applied. It was just a chance thing. So glad that I saw it. So glad that I applied because I felt like that was the closest that I could get. I mean, now obviously I'm still training and I'm really trying. And when ESA opens applications, which hopefully will be before I'm too old. Then I will be applying. So,
is there a timeline on ESA opening up candidates?
Not really. It just depends. So at the minute, I think last time I checked, there was like 16 European astronauts. Tim was recruited in 2009. Didn't get to go to the space station until 2015. So it's a lot of training. Mm-hmm. And I really hope... So they took on an Italian guy in 2015, I think, was the last European astronaut. So I'm really hoping 2020 there'll be another...
Yeah, and there's old Nespoli going up, and he's like...
Yeah, he's 60. Yeah, I watched that mission live. It was so good. The launch. I was just tuning in at work, sneakily.
I'm assuming is he the oldest ESA astronaut? He must be the oldest ESA astronaut, mustn't he?
I'm not actually sure. I think, is Peggy in her 50s?
Yeah, but she's American, isn't she?
She's she's American.
Oh yeah, she's much older.
Yeah, but maybe he is 60 as the oldest European. But I think you need to be recruited before you're 37.
Right. Damn.
So I know. But once I'm in, hopefully.
Yeah. You've got plenty of time.
But I was like, I hope it's not next year because I want to be a really good swimmer.
What you need to do between now and selection is, do a load of swimming.
Swimming while doing the numbers.
While doing numbers and maybe flying a helicopter.
Yeah, all those things. Just fill the helicopter with water. Do it all underwater in the sky.
How's your eyesight?
Eyesight's good. Yeah, I only need my glasses for computer work. 20/20 vision. That's good.
The one bit of Mike Massimino's book. Have you read that?
Yeah.
That's a brilliant one.
Yeah,
I think it's my favourite one that I've read so far of the astronaut
books.
But his overcoming his eye problems was just insane. What he had to go through was like concentrating on practicing, focusing. Wow, incredible.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think like a trait of an astronaut is you really do just push yourself and you just make it work. Like it's really funny because I'm just reading the Martian, and he's like, obviously, he's stuck on Mars and he's an engineer, he's trying to fix things. And I had a problem with the TV the other day, and I was like, oh no, Merit's coming around, we're going to watch the episode, I can't get this to work. And I was like, right, okay, how do I build
You're going
a
to
satellite?
Science the shit out of it.
I just went like in complete, like as if I was in the book mode. And I was like, right, how can I do this? Come on, Jackie, you can be an astronaut. And I kind of do that with books. I kind of get a bit too immersed in the story that I'm reading.
Weirdly, the Martian, it was the very first Audible book I got. Way before the film, when it first came out. And it's a brilliant Audible book.
Yeah,
it's really good. And you have got to the end.
Oh, no, I'm not yet.
I bet not. Because that's a whole chunk of it that's not even in the film.
Yeah, no, I'm such a slow reader as well. That's something I need to improve on. So I think between now and ESA applications, I want to go back to uni and do another master's.
What?
I know. So at UCL, they do a master's in space science and engineering, which looks really cool. So if I can...
How long does that take?
Just 1 year.
Oh, just 1 year.
Yeah. So
but that's full time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at doing a master's at the moment. But
yeah. See, you were getting at me then. You were going to do one yourself.
Yeah, but I haven't done a PhD.
Yeah, but I did it in the wrong field.
Wrong? No, you've done it in the right
I
field.
need to like cross over into like engineering and aerospace. So if anyone listening knows a way for me to do that,
well,
that'd be great. Which would be free and not 10 grand.
Of course, yeah, you've burnt up your
it's so
finance.
Expensive.
Yeah.
So that's maybe I'll do that. But yeah, I want to learn to fly, get my memory a little bit better. diving and swimming, that's something I definitely need to improve on. Learn Russian as well.
Yeah, that's a useful.
Started.
Well, they're saying that with old SpaceX and Boeing, they're not too far away from launching
That's
up
true.
now, so you might not have to learn the Russian.
Yeah.
Chinese might be better, in fact.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of people have told me that. Learn both, be on the same side.
Or maybe even North Korean. They might who
knows?
repurpose their missiles for peaceful purposes.
Hopefully, one can hope.
But that was my last question. What's next?
Yeah, and just keep training. I think taking part in the process has only made me want it even more.
Yeah.
And I've had like a little taste of it now, and it would just be an absolute dream if I was to be an astronaut for real.
Yeah, I mean, you've got nothing to lose, have you? By just keep going for it.
As long as I don't. I think like even in Chris's book, he always says like it was his dream, but he always kind of improved, but knew, okay, well, I'll become like a test pilot as training to be an astronaut, but actually that's still a good career. I think as long as I do that and don't just invest every penny in learning to fly all kinds of vehicles that I'm never going to use on a daily basis.
I mean, Chris Hadfield's book is a total lesson in driven. Like, I've got this goal. Yeah,
it's like a whole goal of how to be a great person and live a great life of achievement, really. And focus.
the one story in it that I really want to follow up on. There's an astronaut who gets all the way as far as being chosen to go up to the space station on the shuttle, but gets a cold or something like that, and then misses his flight opportunity and never gets another one.
Yeah, you would be absolutely devastated, because again, that can happen, and you're put in quarantine a few weeks before. And just imagine, like us with this cough, I don't know if we get to go.
No, that's it.
I genuinely, I went to my doctor, because now I'm very conscious as well about my medical records, because I know that gets looked at. So I get a bit ill and I think, I'll survive, it'll be fine, I don't need to put this on my record. And I finally gave in with this cough, because it's been absolutely months.
Oh, well, I'm glad someone else has had.
It's been absolutely months, and I went all the way back to Liverpool. I saw my doctor, and he was like, no, it's just a virus. And I was like, I can't be. I was like, don't put this on my record.
Going for it forever.
I was like, it can't be. It needs to go. I want to be an astronaut. And he was just looking at me like, you're crazy. You'll be fine. You'll live.
Do you actually play the astronaut card on him? That's pretty impressive.
I was like, I want to be an astronaut. You don't understand. He was like, okay, maybe just concentrate on getting better.
Good job there wasn't another doctor there. You might have got sectioned.
I know. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's happened. Yeah, I've been close to that a couple of times.
I just want to share one little story before, but just to make it that I'd asked you if you'd wanted to come on the Interplanetary podcast before I knew you were on the TV programme, so which I thought was very, and then like about a week later. Said,
that was so funny.
Do you fancy talking about this? Well, yeah, obviously.
I know. We'd been chatting, hadn't we, on Twitter, and probably over like the SpaceX launches and stuff, because I was always tweeting about the same time.
Well, it was the Nespoli launch,
mission, yeah. So we were watching the Vita mission, tweeting away. I was liking your tweets, probably a bit too keenly, and then we were going to chat, weren't we, about something? And I was like, yeah, maybe I can talk about James Webb Telescope or something. And then the advert came out, and I was like, maybe I should mention him on this show. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that was quite funny. Well, no, I'd noticed that your little picture had changed. And you've got these...
I just want to keep that forever and pretend I'm a real astronaut candidate.
What's this?
So I can just tweet. So what happens now? I just tweet all the astronauts, and they see my picture and they think, oh, she must be a candidate, which is great.
Oh, what?
I just want that forever.
Yeah, that is quite cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming down.
Yeah, not a problem. It's been real fun.
And putting up with my late train as well.
No, it's been really fun. Thank you for having me.
It's really interesting. Really interesting.
Oh,
and
good,
really great to meet someone who's so humble and obviously extremely talented, even despite what I said, extremely hardworking.
Oh, thank you.
And obviously genuinely a lovely person. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks.
Yes, so he's described by Forbes magazine as perhaps the most social media savvy astronaut ever to leave Earth.
Where's that magazine based?
I don't know.
Us neither. So he was raised on a corn farm, am I right?
According to his book,
Humble beginnings.
when he saw the Apollo 11 moon landings on the television, that's when he thought, I have to be an astronaut. And literally, if you read his book, he's totally driven, isn't he, from that point on?
Oh, my God. Like, insanely driven.
This is what I must do to become an astronaut.
And also, he talks about the difficulty of just being a Canadian trying to get into NASA. It's not easy, is it?
Well, yeah, and as a Canadian, he does quite a few firsts, doesn't he, as we shall discover in this journey that he takes. So he married his high school sweetheart, and they have 3 children, Kyle, Evan and Kristen. And it's actually, I believe, Evan that helps him with his web savviness. So yes,
really? He's the tech guy.
He's the tech guy. He obviously knows what he's doing. 37 million views Space Oddity has had.
It's almost as many listens as we get.
So that's, he's up there with the Interplanetary podcast in terms of popularity.
Matt, if anyone sings Bowie, I'm a fan of theirs. But singing it in space, I mean, that's my 2 favourite things ever.
Yeah. To be fair, it is a really good rendition. I really like the video as well. I like the fact that he takes it so seriously.
If only he was also wearing Michelle Pfeiffer's catsuit, then it would be the triple whammy, wouldn't it?
That would be pretty good. Part of his plan to become an astronaut was to join the Royal Air Cadets. So he was licensed to fly a glider at 15, then a powered aircraft by the time he was 16, and by the time he was 24, he was the top graduate of basic jet training.
My God, at 24, he was already the top.
Yeah, and in the meantime, he'd done his Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering.
Standard.
So done that by the time he was 22.
Yeah.
He has flown so many different types of plane, Canadian jets, and I think he's flown over 70 different types of aircraft.
70.
So it's just nuts. So he was the first CF-18 pilot to intercept a Soviet Topolov Tu-94 long-range bomber in the Canadian Arctic. So
my God.
And then between 1989 and 92, he was a test pilot for McDonnell Douglas. So things like the F-18 Hornet, the Corsair, and he was the F-18. He did quite a lot of these crazy out-of-control recovery tests and things like that. So he is the pilot's pilot, essentially.
He's definitely the pilot's pilot. Yeah. I'm just worried he hasn't got enough experience, Matt.
Yeah, so in 92, he then thought, well, I need to do something more. So then he got another master's degree in aviation systems from the University of Tennessee Space Institute. And his thesis was concerned with high-angle attack aerodynamics of the FA-18 Hornet fighter jet. So let's face it, on the old Hornet, he's definitely a bit of the man. During his illustrious flying planes around, entered into the selection process for a Canadian astronauts. So there was 5,330 applicants.
Yeah,
and he got down to the last 5, four of which have flown into space. So wow. Yeah, so that's pretty.
Oh, you'd be gutted if you were that one person, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't know what happened in their life. We should look that up.
Yeah.
If anyone knows, they should email in.
Please tweet us in.
Yeah. And then while working at NASA, once he was in, he addressed technical and safety issues for shuttle. He helped develop the glass shuttle cockpit. He was Capcom, so he was the voice of mission control for 25 space shuttle missions.
Are Capcom also the people who design games like Street Fighter 2? I'm sure that's right.
I really do think you are right that is also the.
Maybe it's a different company.
Yeah, one definitely is. Is it Captain of Communications, perhaps?
Oh yeah,
or Capsule Communications. Yeah, maybe that's it. But yes, maybe Capcom. The games are named after Capcom because it is a pretty cool name.
I'm going to find out.
And then he went on to go to Yuri Gagarin's Cosmonaut Training Center and became director of operations.
This blows me away when anyone talks about it because you're literally learning rocket science in another language, and not just another language. It's got to be pretty damn difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Damn.
So let's get to his
hats off.
Let's get to his space career. So he spent 166 days in space on three separate missions. So the first one was STS-74. Now I didn't realise this. I didn't realise that went to the Mir space station. So he's the only Canadian ever to board the Mir. And
really?
And he took the Canadian Canadarm to the to the Mir. So that's what he was there to do. So obviously lots of Canadian things going on there. By the way, even though he is Canadian, he's in the book he does talk about how his family is from the north of England and Scotland. So he's really
no way. So we can kind of claim him as our own.
I think so. I mean, he does look like a northerner, doesn't he? He looks.
Who was that tennis player with the American accent that we called British?
Greg Rosetsky. Wasn't he Canadian as well? In fact, aren't all our tennis players used to be Canadian?
I love it. Yeah, definitely British until they lose in the semi-final.
Yeah, and then they're Scottish.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so STS-74. So yeah, that was the second space shuttle mission to go to the Mir space station.
Incredible.
That is pretty cool, isn't it? Now the
very cool.
Then STS-100. That is, he flew Canadarm2 up to the space station.
In my mind, I was wondering what the difference was between Canadarm2 and 1.
I think it's a lot to do with one's loads better than the other.
That is technical.
Yeah.
If anybody knows, please email in.
Well, imagine iPhone 5 and iPhone 6.
So you can have emojis on the Canadarm2.
Yeah, it's operated by emojis.
Awesome.
If you smile, goes to the left. Frown goes to the right. So on that one, he did 2 spacewalks. So that's his 2 spacewalks. He's only done 2 spacewalks, and there's one of the spacewalks he talks about a lot. I've seen a TED talk about it, and it's in his book where he's pretty excited about doing his spacewalk, so he spends all evening cleaning up his visor, making sure it's super clear to see through. And then halfway through his spacewalk, his eyes really start to hurt, and then they start to really hurt, and then they start to sting so much he starts to go blind. So he actually kind of went blind while in space.
Did he have to go back in?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he did eventually, but did he have to go back in because of that?
Yeah, no, he had to sort of basically feel his way across the spacecraft and get back in. It was a very, very dangerous situation.
Did they ever found out what happened?
Yeah, so it was because he was cleaning the visor. It was the anti-fog solution that he'd used to polish the visor. Would basically
that had gone in his eye.
Had gone in his eye, and he shouldn't have been using it. So it was his meticulous preparation that did him in the end.
See, this is a very good lesson for any lazy people out there. Just stick as you're doing.
Just be lazy. Just do what you're
just
do what you're told. Particularly when you're doing a spacewalk, just do what you're told.
So, I mean, obviously some spacewalks they're going to be telling you last minute because it's going to be repairs and stuff. Mm-hmm. But if they know something's going to happen, how quickly do they tell you in advance?
I don't know. I know that there's some that they've gone out and they've had to do very, very quickly, as in you've just got to go and do it, as in you don't have much choice. Because some things can be, I suppose, space station critical. So most things have got, dual redundancy, say. But if one goes down...
Because that's got to be the dream, isn't it? That you get up there and someone says to you, right, we need you to go on your spacewalk.
Yeah,
now.
I wonder what the shortest notice spacewalk is.
That's another
There's
one.
There's yet more things to write in and tell us about.
I tell you what, Matt, this podcast is engaging.
It's engaged me. So that's he spent 14 hours, well, almost 15 hours in space. And that's so he travelled 10 times around the world during his spacewalks. So that's pretty good, isn't it? So the next time he went to space, that was in 2001, by the way, that one. And the next time he went to space was in 2012, which is one I remember very, very well. That's when he sang his Space Oddity and all that.
Absolutely.
But it was most famous, wasn't it? Because he was the first astronaut that really... got into taking loads of pictures and engaging the public with his photography, and people just went mad for it, didn't they? It was
absolutely went mad for it.
I think Hadfield's definitely one of the most famous astronauts. He really made his kind of presence known, didn't he? And sort of made it cool.
He's very clever too. He's He's really just super lovely, as most astronauts are, but he's really lovely and funny and very talented, clearly.
Yeah, he's also quite serious as well. He's got that kind of serious edge to him that you know that no matter what, if you were to be in a disaster, you would want Chris Hadfield, wouldn't you?
You definitely want him on board.
Be like,
he's like an uncle. He's like my Uncle Paul, who can do anything. He's just one of these people. Any DIY you need doing, call my Uncle Paul. He'll sort you out.
That's weird. I've got an Uncle Paul as well.
Have you? Is he good at DIY?
I don't know. I've got a feeling he'd be probably dreadful at DIY. I don't know. He's very much an intellectual.
I hope he's not listening.
Oh, he will be. So, music, that's annoying, isn't it? He's basically a really successful musician as well.
Is there anything he can't do?
His performance, by the way, there's a really interesting piece in The Economist by Glenn Fleischman, and it's about the legal implications of publicly performing a copyrighted work in Earth orbit.
Someone's got to do the job.
Exactly. I might have to do that with my students. I think that combines my hobby with my work. That's very good.
Exactly.
So and as we were saying, we've read his 2013 autobiography, An Astronaut's Guide to Life on Earth. It's a very good book, isn't it?
Do we know if it's the biggest selling space autobiography?
Oh, that's a good...
Because I bet it's up there.
It's got to be up there, hasn't it?
It's got to be the one, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's.
That's another
question,
we're
isn't
putting out
it?
to the listeners.
Let's do the top 5 astronaut autobiographies. Which ones come up?
Because he's also done a space photo book as well, hasn't he?
Yes. So yeah, he put all his.
Has Chris Hadfield done a kids' book?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think he has. I don't think he likes children.
No. Oh.
I made that last bit up.
That's slander. Space slander.
The podcast's nothing without controversy.
That's true, actually, yeah.
Astronaut, have you got what it takes?
I love the sound of this. I still haven't seen the episode
it yet.
But I haven't seen it yet, but I've absolutely got a schedule to do that this weekend. Gonna do it.
Yeah, so I was a bit unfair, actually, when I said it was like The Apprentice set in space and Chris Hadfield was like Alan Sugar. It's a little less silly than The Apprentice.
Yeah.
And it's got, do you know Dr. Fong? He's the guy that you often see on telly. And
Dr. Kevin Fong.
Dr. Kevin Fong. So he is on it because he's actually tried to be an ESA astronaut, but he also works for ESA in their sort of designing medical tests, I think.
Yeah.
But he's actually tried to be an astronaut, and so he's been through some of these processes that they put them through. And he's basically his take on it is that he says we went to huge lengths to represent a selection program based on the ESA application criteria. We didn't make it easy for participants.
Well, I hope not.
And you know what? It's really good. The very first test that they do is a helicopter flying test. And it looks so difficult. But not only that, it looks really dangerous. It's like losing control of a helicopter really close to the ground. Just looks absolutely just dangerous beyond belief. I mean, it's like...
Well, that harps back to our mate Gene Cernan, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who did manage to get away with it.
My favourite test in the whole programme was one where they have to step up and down on a step, one of those steps that you get for, step aerobics. They've got to step up and down one of those while they get read out in a German accent digits. So it goes 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 like that, and you've then got to keep stepping and then say it backwards. So I'm going to read you.
Say it backwards.
Yeah. So here you go, Jamie. I'm going to give you 5 numbers in a row, and you've got to read them back to me. Okay? Backwards.
All right.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Are you going to do it in a German accent?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Have you been working on this accent?
Yeah. I mean, it might be Austrian. Okay.
Okay. Go on then.
5, 4, 6, 2, 0, 1.
1, 0, 2, 6, 4, 5.
Oh, you're out. Jamie, you failed. You're so close. You got the 4 and the 5 the wrong way round. Oh, Oh, that was... I have to say, I thought, oh, no, he's going to do it. But you didn't. You failed. You got it wrong.
Are you sure?
Yeah, definitely, because I'm actually...
Because...
I'm actually...
Let me tell you why I think I'm right and you're wrong.
Go on, then.
Because I cheated.
Yeah, go on, then.
I'm sitting in front of my laptop and I wrote the numbers down.
Did you?
And I'm pretty sure that I got them right.
Well, it's easy. We just have to rewind the tape. You're such a cheat.
Well, no, it's okay because I came out and said that I cheated.
Okay,
so
that's fair enough.
God's forgiven me.
Well, but the worst thing is you still got it wrong.
I didn't know.
Oh my God! Well, we'll go back. It's fine. Well, so,
can someone help me out, please?
Well, readers, write in.
God, if I did,
no, there
get
we
it
go.
Wrong,
we can.
That's awful.
We can see if people were listening or not, or whether they've got command of the rewind button on their podcast
very
player.
True.
So anyway,
rewind.
So guess what? So it made me think about this. What do you think is the record for remembering digits?
What? And backwards?
Not backwards. I couldn't find this one. But what, for example, who's remembered the most amount of digits of pi?
Is it the guy that the Rain Man was based on?
It's not.
He remembers 98.5 or something % of everything he reads.
Oh wow. Yeah, but I doubt this. There's a man called Chao Lu from China.
Yeah.
And in 2005, he managed to say 67,890 digits of pi.
What?
Now, here's another one. The world record at the moment in one of these memory competitions, spoken numbers at a rate of 1 every second and recalling them. So not backwards, but recalling them in order. Guess what? Guess how many? Guess how many?
Oh, I don't know.
456.
456?
Yeah, so it's like someone reading out 456 numbers. And bear in mind, that's almost like...
And straight away you repeat
and
them.
then he has to then repeat them back.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's Lance Chirtzart of the United States. And
well, Lance, I think you're a robot. How about that?
And the British record, that was the record in 2003, is 140 by Andy Bell. I wonder if he's a relation to Jackie Bell.
Isn't Andy Bell the old bass player of Oasis?
I actually think you're right.
That's how good my memory is.
Oh, yes.
I can just about remember my mobile phone number.
So one thing that happens on this program is that they just send people home and go, "You're home. You're going home." Like you would have ghave gone home because you got it wrong, and you'd have gone home for cheating as well. That wouldn't be on.
No, I told you because I said I cheated.
She's only allowed to tell me about the first 2 episodes, I think.
Well, I'm going to have to check that out.
The Interplanetary Podcast, putting the ace back into space. Oh, yeah, baby space. Nice. Listeners, please send in your questions and answers to all our questions.
Oh, yeah, there's at least 5 or 6 answers that we want by the next podcast, please. Do not be late.
Send them in by the next podcast. Got plenty of time these days.